Next, let's jump into the What's New in sessions and industry insights for cloud workflows that include how to bridge 2D precision with 3D clarity and industry insight into easily accessing timber building component technology. Our first session is with Prerna. Prerna Jolie is product owner for ALLPLAN Bimplus, focusing on BIM collaboration workflows. Welcome, Prerna. What do you find most exciting about working on the Bimplus product?
Thank you, Ulla. Bimplus is a powerful platform that brings together various aspects of project management and collaboration in a seamless way. What excites me the most is its potential to truly revolutionize how construction projects are managed. The ability to integrate different types of data, models, drawing files, documents, workflows into a single cohesive platform is something that I believe is a game changer for our users.
What feature are you showing today?
Today, I would like to talk about Overlay Manager. It is a fantastic tool because it addresses a common challenge in the industry, ensuring consistency between drawing files and models. What I love most about it is how intuitive it is for our users to overlay 2D layouts onto their 3D models. This feature not only saves time but also significantly reduces the risk of errors during the construction phase. It is a great example of how we are making complex tasks simpler for our users. So I will quickly demo the Overlay Manager now. I will open Overlay Manager in the left panel, and in the Project Navigator, we have another tab for overlays, and you can see the folder structure is same at both the places. Now let me switch on an overlay, and I can cut the model also from the top so we can clearly see how it looks. Okay. We can also see multiple overlays at the same time. We can switch on all of them together with this option. Then we can see multiple more overlays are available here. Then we can switch off all the overlays together. We can also save them in the saved selection. So this is something which I saved earlier today. And when I choose that option, then the overlays will be shown. So as we can see, the overlays are shown now. Now the overlays are not restricted only in this module. They are available in other modules as well. So let's go to another module, Object Navigator, and we see the overlays stay. Now let's go to Project Slideshows where we can save the overlays. So I will select a slide, and this has some overlays already, and we can see the overlay here. We can also add some markups in it. So the markup stays as well, and that can be saved as well in the slideshow. Now we go to the issue manager and we select an issue. In the issue, we can see there are two spots. So spots and markups, everything can be stored in the issues or slides. The overlays are treated as an object in the BIM Explorer. This was regarding the overlays. Now we can look at another feature. So I'll switch off the overlay. Now we will be talking about the auto dimensioning tools. So there are three tools. First one is auto edge. I will activate it and I will just go to the edges and then the measurement stays. We also have the opportunity to isolate the object with this, or we can delete with this option here. Delete the markup. The second auto dimensioning option is auto surface. Now I go to any surface and I want to have the dimensions of all the edges. Now to do that, I have to spend a lot of time and effort. Instead, I can just click on the surface with the auto surface tool and I'll be able to get all the dimensions very quickly. Let's get some more. Now, if I want to delete them with one click, because clicking each one of them will take very long, I can just choose delete all measures. And there we go. Now we come to the third one, which is laser. Laser, how this helps is, if I want to measure the distance between the two windows, or how long is the window, how long is the opening, then it's easier for me to do it with the laser. This is very much simpler now to take all the distances as compared to picking each point. And that is all regarding the demo. Back to you, Ilona.
It was great to see the features in action and understand how they can make a real impact. With the Overlay Manager, users are able to overlay 2D layouts into their 3D models. Which formats can be used?
So for overlays, we support three formats: PDF, JPEG, and PNG.
Can we create overlays with Bluebeam documents?
Yes, we can create overlays on the Bluebeam documents also, and this is something which will be demoed by my colleague Paul.
And can I save the measure from auto dimensioning tool?
Yes, so I have these dimensions here. I can go to project slideshows, and over here I can just click on add slide, and this particular slide will save the dimensions. So maybe I can show you the slide which I made earlier. And yes, this has some dimensions. This is the way you can save it.
Thank you, Prerna. In our next session, my colleague Janet Kestner will speak with Ulla Stäblein from Stäblein Architekten. Ulla will show how she benefits from these 2D and 3D workflows in practice.
After Prerna's overview of the new cloud workflows, let's explore how these innovations are being applied in practice. I'm delighted to welcome Ulla Stäblein, independent architect and managing director of Stäblein Architekten, to our ALLPLAN 2025 launch event. Ulla has been using ALLPLAN since the early 1990s. She's a BIM expert and also a beta tester for ALLPLAN 2025. Since her studies, she has been involved in sustainable construction, especially green roofs and facades. Welcome, Ulla, and thank you for joining us today. Before we dive in, could you tell us a bit about your company and the types of projects you use ALLPLAN for?
Hello, Janet. Thank you very much for the introductory words. And yes, I like to tell you a little about us and our projects. Well, together with my husband Erhard, we founded Stäblein Architekten in 2018. He had already been running a successful office in Ulm since 1990, and used ALLPLAN there for the very beginning. The founding was necessary in order to jointly advance the topics that are very important to both of us. These are 3D modeling and BIM, and 3D scanning and sustainability, such as green building and LCA, something like this. Yes, and I have also been working in the field of adult education for 4 years now. And as BIM standard speaker, I teach architects and engineers about BIM and also a little bit about or a little bit of ALLPLAN. At Stäblein Architekten, we mainly deal with industrial and office buildings, but also with residential construction, energy efficient refurbishments, and the conversion of listed buildings as well as BIM coordination. You see a wide range, and we use ALLPLAN for all these different tasks in architectural planning and in structural design also.
Thank you very much for sharing that with us. Why is ALLPLAN your preferred tool, and what do you find most valuable about it?
Well, as I said, we have been using ALLPLAN for a very long time and have grown together with the program. With ALLPLAN, we can work well together within our office between architecture and structural design. And since the pandemic, we use ALLPLAN Share. ALLPLAN Share has been helping us work together on projects from any location without a VPN connection and an extra server. So we think it's really great.
You mentioned that you are a big fan of the object palettes in ALLPLAN. Could you explain why this feature is so important for you?
Yes, that's right. I'm really a big fan of the object palette in ALLPLAN. Because it offers many great functions that are easy to use. The object manager function, for example, is fantastic. The views can be easily controlled via the object navigator. Drawing files can easily be shown and hidden, switched to passive and active, or the transparency can be changed. Also, components can simply be moved to the correct layer using drag and drop. Attributes can be checked and much more. I will say, in short, you have a great structured overview of the model and the option of editing and checking the model without any additional functions.
Sounds great. In our previous conversation, you mentioned that you used the new Bimplus overlay manager quite extensively. Could you tell us about your experience with this new tool, please?
I think it's a perfect combination of 3D model and 2D planning. With the overlay manager, 2D plans can now be placed anywhere under the model, whether floor plan, section, or detail. And this function contributes greatly to better orientation and a better understanding of the 3D model. The slideshows and the issues are also easier to understand in the overlay manager, improving communication with clients and planning partners.
As I mentioned before, you are also a beta tester of ALLPLAN 2025. What's your favorite feature in the latest version and why?
My favorite function in ALLPLAN 25 is probably the information palette. In my role as BIM coordinator in our office, I'm quickly able to check the models and, if necessary, correct the object attributes, and thus improve the data quality.
Thank you, Ulla, for being with us today and for this inspiring session and for sharing your experiences with us and how you use ALLPLAN and Bimplus in your daily work. We're very much looking forward to talking to you soon, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Janet, and thank you, Ulla, for these great insights. Next, Janet will interview Oliver Amandi, the Managing Director from MiTek Industries Deutschland GmbH. MiTek Industry are the leading supplier of connectors, structural engineering software, and services to the timber building industry. And I'm sure, like me, you're interested to know about our collaboration and the benefits it brings.
I'm delighted to welcome our next guest, Oliver Amandi. Oliver is anchored in the timber building industry since over 30 years, witnessed the development of this sector and influenced it in different roles. Today, he's acting as Managing Director of MiTek Industry Germany. Welcome to you, Oliver. Great to have you with us at our ALLPLAN 2025 launch event. Oliver, before we dive into the specifics of the collaboration of MiTek and ALLPLAN, could you share your perspective on how the timber building industry has evolved over the years and what role MiTek has played in this transformation?
ALLPLAN and MiTek are two very well-established key suppliers to the AEC industry in different areas, though. ALLPLAN's competence is in the building and civil engineering world, while MiTek Industries is known to be a leading supplier of connectors, structural engineering software, and services to the timber building industry. It makes a lot of sense that both combine their capabilities, connecting their software suites in order to shape a future-safe, state-of-the-art, and user-friendly workflow for design to build.
As you already said, ALLPLAN and MiTek are both established leaders in their respective fields, yet they've chosen to collaborate closely. Could you explain how this partnership is set to transform design-to-build workflows and what specific advantages it offers to architects?
Yes, in this specific way, timber building components technology becomes accessible for architects and planners at a very early stage of the design process and in a very easy way, which means that the efficiency of the design and planning process is much higher, while the quality of the resulting building model is at the highest level, called as to be built. In consequence, the share of on-site labor decreases significantly and the risk of failures drops, while the quality of the building rises due to the use of more pre-manufactured components, including all services like HVAC, electricity, and water installations.
In our previous conversation, you mentioned the importance of a shared 3D building model. How does this integration between ALLPLAN and Pamir improve the day-to-day workflow for professionals in the timber building industry? And how does it contribute to achieving more quality and efficient and sustainable projects?
That's a key aspect. The key to success is the shared 3D building model, which is managed in ALLPLAN Bimplus and jointly worked on by all stakeholders in the design and engineering phase. The outstanding deep integration of ALLPLAN Bimplus into ALLPLAN as such and MiTek's Pamir software enables the user to view and edit the shared 3D building model, while all amendments, collisions, or required changes are directly accessible in ALLPLAN and in Pamir, meaning that joint communication and model management happens in Bimplus, while all the specific design and structural engineering works are handled by the respective user in their common and known software environment. This way, all participants stay in their zone of comfort, avoiding learning new software or to deal with problems they do not feel comfortable about. In a nutshell, with MiTek ALLPLAN Bimplus, you see what you will get. Jointly designing a 3D building as on to be built level, while staying in your zone of expertise and comfort. The entire communication and all technical details are followed up with and filed by Bimplus, hence handling the entire documentation and filing process fairly automated and in the background.
With the new release of ALLPLAN 2025, what is your vision for the future of Pamir in this evolving industry? And how do you see the integration of Pamir with ALLPLAN continuing to push the boundaries of what's possible in timber building construction?
Yeah, that's an important aspect. The strength of Pamir is the state-of-the-art and flexible 3D data model. This enables Pamir to start at the architectural level, work through the complete design and structural engineering process up to the final production data for wall, floor, and roof components. To be first in class requires frequent updates and full compliance with all national as well as international norms and regulations. Currently, we update Pamir 3 times per year and pay a high level of attention to increase Pamir's capabilities of interoperability with architectural design software. ALLPLAN 2025 and the ongoing enhancements in Bimplus are providing a perfect base to make the full range of Pamir's capabilities available to architects and planners. Enabling this audience to access timber building details and fully structured engineered components at a very early phase of the design and planning process is one of the key aspects in our development strategy. We realize that the future of the building industry is driven by 3D modeling, smart software integrations, not to call it artificial intelligence, and virtual integrations in the building process. This requires appropriate communication and data management in an open environment, enabling all stakeholders to contribute their specific expertise as early in the process as possible. ALLPLAN's Bimplus portal offers outstanding features to realize this essential requirement, and Pamir fits into this scenario and the user requirements like a glove.
As we all know, the AEC industry is facing numerous challenges, from energy and labor shortages to rising material costs and increased regulatory demands. How do you see the collaboration between ALLPLAN and Pamir addressing these challenges, and how do you think the future holds for industrialized processes?
Let's have a look at the near future challenges in the building industry. Shortage of energy and labor meet already high material prices. Land is expensive and new plots are rarely developed, especially in urban areas, whereas the need for more and better space of living is extremely high in urban areas. We see a lot of environmental and legal requirements for new buildings coming up. Combining all those aspects, we need to adapt processes and technologies in the building industry to be fit for the future. The answers are in hybrid building technologies, advanced and highly effective processes, enhanced workflows, and the capability to build better buildings for less money and in higher volume. The times of on-site constructions are passing by, and industrialized processes of building component manufacturing are taken over. Like in the car industry, since Henry Ford's invention of the assembly belt manufacturing of cars. This requires sophisticated design, engineering, and production software, as well as subject matter expert collaborating in a highly effective manner. Improving the interoperability of all stakeholders in the design to build process is the future of the 3D model sharing between ALLPLAN and Pamir, managed by ALLPLAN Bimplus.
Thank you so much, Oliver, for sharing your insights and giving us a glimpse into the future of timber construction and the exciting possibilities that lie ahead with ALLPLAN and Pamir. It's clear that the innovations you're leading will play a crucial role in shaping the future of our industry. We look forward to hearing more from you in the future. Take care, Oliver, and thank you.
Thanks for talking to me.
Thank you, Oliver and Jeanette, for taking the time to speak together and for giving us the insightful overview of how this integration between Bimplus by ALLPLAN and Pamir by MiTek will benefit users, making timber component technology accessible and addressing many challenges we face today through industrialized building processes.